Macklemore and Ryan Lewis live on KEXP. You give away your music too. What's the strategy there?
Spread it, get it out to the people, and then we can go play.
Yeah.
But aren't you bitter in a sense that the show is such a hit and you're not getting paid for it?
Well, I just did a tour, and I made an enormous amount of money on that tour.
Social media is essentially revolutionizing the business models because the consumer's in essence talking back. And so it's about where the music industry has sort of gotten it wrong in the last 10 years. When with the rise of Napster, the music business kind of covered their ears and thought it was all going to go away. And it's really hollowed out the music business in many ways. And so there is a movement there that needs to be headed.
The recorded music business started to implode. And the artist who used to make 80% of his money from record sales and 20% from the road, maybe, suddenly it was completely flipped over in about 4 years, right? Thanks, Napster.
Right. I think it's kind of amazing how little most people, even people in the music business, know about live. So we all talk about the music business, and everyone's talking about the CD business, yep, which frankly isn't a very interesting business anymore, and it's also, it's kind of not the business.
Tell me your business plan here.
I had done this special called Live at the Beacon Theater,
right,
so I realized there's no great exploitation of this thing. I can produce it.
Right.
And then I'll put it out on my website.
Right.
So I put it out for $5, and I made it the easiest thing you could possibly buy. You don't have to join anything. All the things I hate about going on the internet and trying to watch stuff,
right,
I stripped all that away. There's no thing where you can't watch it on this machine. You can steal it. It doesn't matter.
But please pay the $5.
I'm not Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and it generated what, $1 million?
$1 million in a week. Yeah.
And when you sell tickets to your shows, you don't use a Ticketmaster.
Yes. Also, people locked it into my mailing list.
Yeah. Right.
And I made it like everything came down, like my website guy said, do you want the button pre-chosen that says yes to the mailing list or the no button pre-chosen? It's always yes.
Right.
So I made it no. You
right,
have to aggressively want emails for me to opt in to get them.
Right.
So everybody I write to is somebody who bought something and said, yes, I want to hear from you again. So when I put the tickets on sale, me and Mike Berkowitz, my agent, we spent about a year putting together a tour of venues that were willing to work without Ticketmaster.
Well, you were able to keep the ticket price low. It was like $40 to go see.
$45 no matter what seat, no matter what. I didn't even advertise or tweet even. Just wrote to people who had bought the thing and said, "There's tickets available, $45. There's no ticket fees, and if you sell these tickets on eBay or something, they'll be shut off."
And it generated $4.5 million.
More than that, yeah, like a few $1 million, and again in a few days. Like we've sold out the tour in by the end of the day, and then added second shows in almost every city.
So I can own that front door. If I can communicate directly with the fan, if I can be that conduit to help those artists reach those fans, I think I have a nice little business there. And that was at the core of why he started thinking about what to do in a post-Ticketmaster world. Very big, it's e-commerce, but e-commerce where the supply chain has a lot more, and understandably rightly so, a lot more control and power than in say Amazon's or others, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stakeholders. In ticketing, you've got the content, whether that be the artist or the sports team. You've got the venue who has control of the ticket, and then you've got the fan. So there was this really cool opportunity to try to put the pieces together. Having been a startup guy, having been a guy who competed with Ticketmaster, it was the opportunity to actually implement the industry level change that, for me, is why I got into the business in the beginning, because I love music, and I think there's some things that are wrong with it. And
wanting to be a musician was like, I'm going to get signed to a record label one day, and you had this idea of what their offices look like, and they're dead.
Fan told us there are things about buying the ticket that suck. There are things about going to the show that suck. And listen, if we bury the tickets underground here, the passionate fan's going to find them and come. It's the casual fan who is somewhere between 10 and 90% of the people who are coming to a given artist show that you got to continue to earn their trust. As an industry, we're like the last Wild West frontier of pricing in American business, right? In global business. We just totally whiff on where the intersection of supply and demand is, right? There is a tremendous amount of value that is built on the backs of the parties who are in the chain that they're not participating in. Trying to bring science and insight and tools to the industry and then say, here they are, let's start to use them. So
YouTube is awesome. They have been the platform for us to reach our fans. And that is the most important thing as a musician in 2012, going into 2013, is a way to directly connect your art to the people.